what we call an exclusive fast or intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is sort of a buzzword that's come up now, and they're doing some really good work. My friends out at True North are doing work in Northern California with it, and Dr. Longo at USC is doing some pretty serious work with it. And it just means you want a minimum of 12, but ideally 16 hours between eating meals. So I think everyone should do that all of the time. Now, who would be precluded from that? If you're anorexic, if you're bulimic, or if you're emaciated. I don't want you doing that. So if you have an eating disorder, or you've just been through chemotherapy, or you just lost 100 pounds in the last, no, we don't want you to do it. So in my case, I eat one meal a day. When do I do it? The wrong time. So I do it at 6 o'clock at night. When should I do it? Between 11:30 and 1:30 in the afternoon. That should be your biggest, largest, and when you get older, only meal. Now, who should eat 2 meals a day? Young, athletic people that are still growing. You're below 25, you're still growing. Once you're 25, you stop growing. You start shrinking. And everything like falls off a cliff at that point. So you ideally want to eat your meal then. So what would that mean? So let's imagine you ate at 6 o'clock at night, and if you ate the next day, how many hours would that be?
24.
So if you ate a second meal,
Oh, a second meal.
yeah, you ate a second meal, you're having that 12 to 16 hour window in there. So don't try not to eat if your body's saying emotionally, not biologically, I need food. You follow? I would rather have you gorge on this healthy food than fall off the diet. This is just water and nutrition. That's pretty much, other than the nuts and seeds, it's water and nutrition. So overeat this. If I didn't do that, I would have been out eating cookies. Not a question about it, I would have done it. I would have gone out and found something that shoved down my throat that was going to make my blood feel better about it. Now, the guy that impressed me back in 1970 to start one day a week fast was Paul Bragg. And Paul Bragg showed us in a very beautiful way that if you do one day a week, in 1 year you'll have fasted 52 days. It takes 7 years for the body to regenerate. On the day of the 7th year, it fasted 364 days with 1 day of rest. So it's what biblically is told to you. I don't care what religion, what philosophy you talk to, they always tell you take 1 out of 7 as a rest. Now, if you're an agricultural scientist and you're teaching kids about farming, you're going to say never grow the same crop on your soil the 7th year. You know why? You'll irreparably destroy the soil. You can do 6 years and then stop and do another 6 years. But if you do the 7th year, it just destroys the soil. The only way you replace it is right. How many of you have been married long periods? Something called 7-year itches. Even if you're totally in love, especially when your hormones are raging and you're younger, not when you get older so much. That you're questioning. You feel antsy. There's a cycle at 7. How did our ancestors say 7 days in a week? 7 years for the body to regenerate. All of this stuff works. So 1 day a week fast is ideal if you're not anorexic, bulimic, or what else. Emaciated. Now, emaciated, if you do this long enough, you're going to get strong and healthy. You could eventually do it. It may take a year to do it. Now, what should you be fasting on? Not Tropicana orange juice or pina coladas.
Well, pina colada doesn't have alcohol in it.
I get it. I would have said all of that stuff. First fast I did, I broke on 2 milkshakes. That's not a joke. And I was sick as a dog for like 2 days, and I kept saying I'm detoxing. And my mentor, who was a Jewish girl at 75, she hit me in the head.
So you're not detoxing, you're toxing.
She was right. You're toxing, she said. And so in our green drink, 1/2 there's sprouts. That's where you get the medicine and the protein. And why did we choose cucumber? It hydrates cells. It makes you absorb water better. Why celery? Celery is high in sodium. Actually acts as an antiseptic to clean out your body's lymphatic system, liver, your kidney, etc. High in mineralization. But it's only about 10% pea sprouts because they give you hardly any juice. They're a pain in the ass, but they give you massive amounts of protein and disease-eating enzymes. So we can't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. These enzymes eat cancer. They eat viruses, they eat bacteria. Proteins, yeah. We make a supplement also that does the same.
Which one is on?
Okay, so pea sprouts,
Oh,
What's the supplement for?
systemic enzymes.
the enzyme in pea sprouts eats cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah, beef hot.
Yeah, amazing stuff. You get them now. They're not normally that's for sure. They're not normally that. So this is what you should be taking. For every 1 pound body weight, 1/2 ounce a day. Now, who are the exceptions? Athletes who are sweating a lot.
I'm so sorry. Did you say that again? The
Which
body,
part?
The body weight. Whatever.
For 1 pound, I better quit pounding. It's okay to, don't be sorry. Sometimes I go fast. Remember, I'm from the Northeast. So 1 pound is 1/2 ounce body weight, 1/2 ounce juice, or water. It can be water. And so, what if I'm an athlete in an arid climate? I need double. For every 1 pound, you need an ounce. If I'm in
You're saying
Arizona,
water.
water or juice.
If you're like literally under 350, is there a certain limit that you should have?
Well, I mean, you'd have to really go bonkers to have too much. If you're 300 pounds, you need a whole lot more water than I do at 180. So I mean, so it's rational. Remember, your body's mostly water. Your brain is 80% water. So if you decided to bloat up to that damn size, you need a hell of a lot more water to keep yourself maintained. So this is the rule, but use logic. Don't say Brian said a 1/2 ounce. I live in Arizona and I run an hour a day when it's 100 degrees outside. Well, come on. How about if you're like me? I take a sauna 365 days a year. There's nowhere I go on the planet without taking a sauna. I plan around saunas. If there's no saunas, I don't go anywhere. That's how important they are, I guess.
The raw pea protein powder and the systemic enzymes are both nice.
No, no. So systemic enzymes are an enzyme extracted at very high density out of living plants. This is a living food. That's a culture.
The raw pea protein powder.
Most of them on the market, they take the peas, they grind